Bissouma is on the verge of a £25 million move to Tottenham Hotspur. Jules, he had a year left in his contract. Is this a good deal?
I think it is a good deal. You can argue that with the 1 year left, 25 million is big money.
26 years old, though.
Yeah.
You've got 5, 6, 7 years left.
Easily.
And he's a really good player.
He's a really good player. I think he will improve Spurs. I think well done to them for signing someone like him. Between Højbjerg, Bentancur and Bissouma, I don't even want to talk about Winks and Skip and all of that.
The little Iniesta?
Yeah.
Skip got a new contract. But
this is good. This is good to play Champions League. It's good to play in the league. I don't know if they will rotate, if Højbjerg will have to make room for Bentancur and Bissouma. But Bissouma brings a lot of the things that they need as well. I mean, if I was Tanguy and Ndombele, I'd be really worried right now. But it's did. I mean, there's obviously a case, privately around Bissouma. I don't know what the outcome of that will be.
Well, we can say about it is that he was arrested.
Yeah.
He's being investigated for a sexual assault in a nightclub. The investigation's still ongoing. He hasn't been charged yet.
No.
I would assume 1,000% that if you're Tottenham, you have done your homework on this.
I would think so
and
too.
you say, okay, we're very confident that he's not going to be charged, and that this doesn't follow a pattern. It's not reflective of him or whatever. We don't know.
No, exactly.
But if you didn't do your homework, well then.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
And just quickly for the Arsenal fans who are not happy that he's going to Spurs because they thought it could be a good value for Arsenal, this is not the midfielder, the profile of a midfielder they're looking right now. So don't feel like you're missing out on someone where they're targeting different profiles of midfielders.
What is that? So they don't want to. Let's say they want to.
I think with Partey and Lokonga, they already have players in similar profile, which is true. And also,
are they not clear on the fact that Partey's older and gets injured?
Yeah, true.
And then Lokonga's very young.
Yeah, but he's there. If you sign Bissouma, I mean, you can't sign a million midfielders either to start with.
Well, no, now that you extended El Neni, who you were going to get rid of. But whatever, let's not go there.
Meanwhile, Gab, Inter's pursuit of Romelu Lukaku continues, and the clubs are talking. But why does this deal has to get done by the end of June?
So the reason that this deal has to get done is Romelu Lukaku, obviously being at Inter, there was tax legislation in Italy, which essentially it's meant for captains of industry and high-profile people. Essentially means that you can get a really good deal on your taxes. Essentially, half your income essentially is tax-free.
Wow.
So what that means was because Inter cannot afford to pay him anywhere near what he's on right now at Chelsea. So the idea was that it would be that he would cut his salary by a certain amount, and then on top of that, Inter would get this tax benefit, which means that they could afford to sign him. Essentially, he would be taking a 30% pay cut, but it would be costing Inter a lot less than what he cost Chelsea. Yeah. So that's the idea. The thing is, this has to be done by June 30th because it's under the old residency regime. Latest news is that Chelsea are open to a deal, but Chelsea want to get some money back because of the amortization of his fee, which is a lot.
That's true.
Inter have apparently offered €5 million. Chelsea are thinking more along the lines of 15. Will they meet in the middle? I don't know. Seems like a lot of money. And I also still goes back to the point. If I'm Chelsea, I ask Tuchel, are you sure? If this guy leaves, we can't necessarily go and get another center forward. Otherwise, it's Armando Broja next year. You sure you're okay with this, Tommy? Yeah. I'm not sure he is.
Oh my God, I bet you love this guy because Benfica have released the details of Darwin Nunez' €75 million transfer fee to Liverpool. His former club, Almeria, will get €10 million. Peñarol in Uruguay, where he started out his career, will get €3 million. And €7.5 million will go to agents and intermediaries. This is the transparency that you always want.
I love. Obrigado, Benfica. No, it's because Benfica are listed in the stock market, so they have to be transparent about this. A lot of these other clubs are not transparent about it. And why are they not transparent? People can say, it's none of your business. No. It is the business of the fans. Yeah. The reason they're not transparent, other clubs, is because directors of football, coaches, people like that, they don't want to be held to account. Anyway, whatever. It's interesting. I mean, the 7.5 million, which goes on agents and intermediaries, this is 7.5 million from the Benfica end. Yeah. So out of the 75 million that they get, Liverpool presumably will be paying Darwin Nunez's agent to sign his contract. And also often you assume there's a buying agent who represented Liverpool in the deal. That people can say, is it a lot? Is it a little? It's the cost of doing business. we've had this conversation when we had Giovanni Branchini on and so on about regulation. If it's transparent, I don't have a problem. Go ahead, pay him 100 million if you like, if it's transparent. Thankfully, Benfica are transparent. A lot of others aren't.
No, that's true.
Dean Henderson has reportedly agreed personal terms with Nottingham Forest, and he could be joining them on loan with a £20 million option to buy. This makes sense for Manchester United and for Henderson?
Well, I mean, we can start the debate. Would it be better than De Gea in goal? Certainly be more proactive, I think. But what's the point of keeping him if he's never going to play? You may as well, especially as we understand, he's desperate to leave and desperate to play. He wants to play in the Premier League. This is a good opportunity for him. Send him on loan with that option to buy, and then 20 million, I think, for someone who you've had now in your books for 3 or 4 years.
Well, and his contract's going to, I think he's only going to have a year left.
Yeah. So I think it does make sense. Did he deserve to have a chance for United more than what he's had so far? Probably, I think so.
Isn't Forest's current keeper pretty good? He's going to leave, Samba, or whatever his name is?
Yeah, I don't think he is. I think he's pretty good. Yeah, he played in and Marseille didn't really get a chance, but yeah, Le Havre, who are really good for goalkeepers, the academy,
and for Pogba,
decent, yeah, Pogba and many others.
So Paulo forward Marquinhos is on his way to Arsenal for just $4 million, but Wolves aren't happy about it. What are the Gunners getting for their money?
They're getting a really good talent at 19 years of age, who is a very skillful, quick winger with a lot of pace and a lot of dribbling abilities, that kind of stuff, which I think is something that, I think Saka is really good at, obviously, dribbling and one-on-one situation, 1v1 situation, but I think they can do with Marquinhos, let him grow.
Especially if they're going to sell Saka shortly, since he's not going to sign his new deal.
Don't start winding me up. Don't start winding me up.
Saka's going to City
all his life. B, I know you will stay all your life. Don't listen to him. And for that amount of money, a bit like the Martinelli deal a few years ago, then you take it. And I think Edu wants the Arsenal name to be there in Brazil, to be out there for those young talents to want to come to Europe and want to go to Arsenal to be the go-to. So it makes a lot of sense for them.
They still need a center forward, right?
They do.
Osimhen? Osimhen?
I would love Osimhen at Arsenal in the Premier League, that's for sure.
It's done. Your boy, Mohamed-Ali Cho, has joined Real Sociedad. Jules, how excited should they be? You talked them up last time. And what is their attack going to look like now that the only living Sorloth in captivity is heading back to his cage in Leipzig?
I think they should be excited.
Isaac Cho, pretty good, yeah.
He's really, really talented. Not so sure about the graphic to announce him with the gloves. Obviously for the
Mohamed-Ali.
Huh? Yeah, I'm not really sure that worked, but contract until 2027. He's young, he's hungry, he's super talented, super quick. I think La Liga fits his style of play. I don't know if you play him and Isak up front in a two, or if he's the sort of number 2 option after Isak. And for Sorloth, we can't really say that his time in Spain worked out for him. It felt more like captivity than anything else, to be fair. So,
Christopher Nkunku is set to sign a new contract at Leipzig rather than move this summer. Jules, he'd be silly not to insert a release clause, right?
Yeah, you're right, and that's exactly what they're doing. There will be a release clause.
How much?
I think so they're talking about it now between 60 and 70, up to 75 million euros. I think this is the ballpark. This is the bracket, and it will still only be 25, and I think there will be clubs who are ready to pay that kind of money anyway. He's had an incredible season, and I think also what he was quite worried about was the World Cup coming, obviously, and I think you stay at Leipzig, you're still the big boss of that team. You and Tedesco have a great relationship. You arrive at the World Cup, you'll be part of the front squad, and you would think, with great momentum and dynamic. If you move now to go to
you got to resettle and so on.
Big club, you don't know how much you're going to play between now and November. It might be a bit difficult. So I think this is clearly the best.
If he gets that release clause, he's played this really well.
I think he will be.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.